Hey everyone! Recently it was Pickles' birthday, and so I've made just a quick video of what we were doing throughout that day. We had a tasty meal and then she got some toys, so it was a simple enough day, but she seemed to really enjoy it. So for the dinner we decided we were going to do steaks, and by we I mean me because I just knew they'd like steaks. So we got some sirloin steaks, and what we did was we then got some broccoli florets and some green beans. And so if you're ever cooking for dogs, it's very easy, just don't season too much. I didn't use any salt, any pepper, or anything along those lines. It was literally just some olive oil, and that was it. So it's safe for them to eat. It's easy to make, easy enough to clean up after. And I had some help in the kitchen watching me as I was cooking, which was great fun, as I know you can imagine. I was aiming for the steaks to be something around medium rare, which is roughly what I got, so I was happy out, because I will also be eating said steaks. So when I thought they were done, I put them down. I didn't get much of a sear because my oven is very bad, so please do not judge me. It wasn't my fault. I promise, maybe, kind of. I then left the steaks to rest, and I had obviously someone making sure that everything was up to code and everything was, not going to be eaten by just me. And then I used the same oil from the steaks because it's got meat juice and such in it. That can be our flavouring, even though it's a limited amount. And I put the beans then on top of that. So for the beans, it's literally just frying them up until they are softer, or they've got a little bit of char or anything on them at all, a little bit of colour, and they're a little bit softer. And they ended up actually being quite tasty. And the dogs tend to really like them, so I thought it was a win-win. They like them raw, so there's nothing I can do to them to make them worse by cooking them, I hoped. At this point, Beauty had joined in the supervisory role, so I had two supervisors to make sure that I absolutely at no point messed this up, and there was mild amount of pressure being applied from both sides. Once I felt that the beans were fully cooked and they were kind of soft when I poked them with the spatula, and the steak had rested for a good few minutes so all the juices were coming out, I then decided to tell Pickle it was okay, I would start serving everything up. I then took the steak and I cut it into pieces that I deemed bite size, or just enough that if they got too excited and did chew too quickly or not enough, that it wouldn't choke them or it'd be less of a chance. But obviously keep an eye on them if they're eating steak, because it is something that people and animals tend to choke on. So just keep an eye and make sure they're not going to be unattended eating something that is so delicious that they just tend to swallow it whole. I then took the cut up steak and I put it onto two little paper plates so they wouldn't drop proper ones and break them, and also so they could lick to their heart's content and run around the floor if they wanted without me risking my actual plate and their little feet and such if they dropped something and it was sharp. I then took the green beans which had been cooked up and I put them out onto the plate as well, and I had to just drain off, there was a little bit of oil on them, and this oil was then put into a jar to then be binned. So yeah, don't make it too oily, don't leave a lot of oil on it. But unfortunately I did use a little bit too much at the start because I wanted to just use the same lot for steaks and veg, and yeah, it ended up being just a little bit too much, so you can use less than what I use. I then added the broccoli florets raw because they like them crunchy, and that was their entire meal good to go. And I didn't have broccoli myself because I don't want it raw and crunchy. After a very patient wait, the time had come and their breakfast dinner was served. So Pickled is a little bit more picky with food. She likes her broccoli, but then she caught on to the fact that there was steak, looked around to make sure she was allowed this, and Beauty is almost already done. So Pickled just started by the time Beauty was finishing off. So they had their little candlelit dinner, and it was, all pretty and romantic and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I'd say it's safe to say that Beauty definitely enjoyed it. And Pickle did enjoy it, but she enjoyed it at her own pace. I don't know why my phone kept unfocusing here. It was really annoying me. I don't know why at all. It was completely fine at the start of the video, and then it just started bugging out on me. I'm not quite sure. But oh well, you can see them clear enough. And Beauty went back for her final green bean that got left behind. And just in case anyone's wondering, the candles are little battery candles, so we're not going to get burnt. And yeah, Pickle took her time to finish her food, and after a while she did actually finish it all and she was happy out and came looking for more. And after the food they got to have some new toys, so I picked her up some squeaky toys, which she doesn't get many squeaky toys because of the fact that we're in an apartment and I don't want to annoy people above or below us. So she got some squeaky ones because it was earlier in the night and I figured it'd be okay. she immediately killed them all. So, and sorry, it's pitch black out, but it's winter, so it's all good. And yeah, so the dinosaur has a little squeaker inside him, which she immediately gutted him and ripped it out. The pig she played with for about 20 minutes, and then she ripped all his legs and ears off, and then he wouldn't squeak anymore because there was holes in him. And the pudding the following day, she gutted him. So Beauty tried to play with some of them, but she's not terribly interested in toys for a dog of her age. Like she's just not interested, which I'm surprised about. But I just don't think she played with them much as a pup, so she's not quite sure what they are. She'll play with like a tennis ball or something like that, if it's given to her. But aside from that, she's not terribly fussed. So yeah, that's basically it. She got her meal, she got some toys. Earlier in the day she went to daycare. She got several long walks just because, and I was home all day as well, so she was happy out, I'd say, it's safe to say. So yeah, I think it was a pretty successful first birthday, and hopefully she has many more and we can just keep one-upping it throughout the year, or throughout her life, sorry. And yeah, so that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope your dogs have good birthdays whenever they have a birthday.